Good morning, Amherstburg. How are you all doing today? We are starting a new segment. We have master trainer and nutritionist Coach Kevin in the building. How you doing,
Yay.
Coach Kevin?
I'm good.
Glad to hear that.
I'm good.
So this is the first episode.
I know.
How does it feel?
Nervous,
Nervous?
but happy, excited. You know, I'm. This is my first time radio. First time radio. I've mostly done all kinds of just TV work.
Fair.
You got a camera, you got someone to talk to, so this will be fun. And I'm glad to have Coach PD by my side.
So to give a little bit of a background and perspective on what this is like right now, Coach Kevin, you have a very good background in health and fitness,
I do.
as opposed to me. I just like to ask questions. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the professional.
No,
That is
but
all
I-
you.
No, but I'm going to teach you some stuff, and I want you I want your perspective too. Cause
Yeah, I'm gonna give you uneducated curveball.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, 2023 is gone, right?
2023 is gone. We're in 2024 now.
I can take a breath,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
2023 is gone. We've had some stuff, me and you.
Yep.
We've had stuff. We both on the side. I know we both lost our fathers, which was not great, of course.
Not the most ideal
Not
situation.
the most ideal situation for the year, and so that we're getting over that. And but I mean, good stuff coming up. Resolutions. What was your resolution this year?
Good question. So my resolution this year is to be more proactive. I need to start prioritizing my own personal goals instead of others. I found that the past in 2023 I kind of focused a lot of my energy on other things, and I didn't really have enough energy or time to focus on the things that I like doing. So I'm gonna take a little bit more time for myself, I think.
That's good. A little self-improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like to make music, so that's kind of my.
You know, that is so cool that you like to play music, because when I taught spinning, all my classes were all I did a book of songs together, and talking about music. Let's get into the music. That's what drew me into this station.
The music.
The music.
Perfect.
The music is oldie goldies. This is, everywhere I go, everywhere I taught, especially, not even my age, guys, they're 20s, 30s, maybe not Connor, but 20s, 30s, oldie goldie music, the 80s. It's the mood music. It makes you smile. And I think that's so important, that you have music that can make you feel good. You can take drugs, you can drink alcohol, you can do all these wonderful things, go on vacation, but there's nothing like playing some cool music in the house and you start singing and dancing.
Absolutely.
And that's really important, is music. I think that's one of my therapy that I'm definitely going to recommend with all the programming. There's exercise and there's diet and there's doing all these wonderful things, and thinking positive, and mindset is what I'm really big at. But I want to really focus on music, because music soothes the soul. Music is everything. My mom, she's ill right now, and she's going through some things. And she's, of course, my father passed, so she's in a very, kind of a low mode. And the other day, I started playing your music, and so she's playing, and she's I like this music. This is because this is good music. Because the biggest complaint we have a lot of times with music, you can't hear the words. And I know, and we talked about different type of modalities of music and things. But I caught my mom dancing, moving a little bit. She has a hard time walking, but moving, little shaking going on, and she had a big smile on her face, and that brought me to tears, dude. I couldn't, my mom, to see her like that after what she's been through and gone through. So kudos to you guys. Your music, your selection is fabulous. It's just, I love it, and I play it all the time now. In Miami, we'll talk about Miami in a bit, but in Miami, it was all very Latin music. It was always, I didn't understand. It was festive, and don't get me wrong, and I'll talk about how important music is to fitness. For instance, I met a guy who worked down in Miami with me. Well, we should back up where I'm from, I guess, right?
Yeah, let's give our listening audience a update on who you are, what your credentials are, because you have quite a few of them, and they're definitely not ones to shy away from or not mention. So we gotta definitely let people know.
Let's go way back. I was born in 1961. I was born and raised in Sudbury, Ontario. what a great place to grow up, man.
Oh yeah, I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up in Sudbury, but I have a cottage, a family cottage.
Yeah,
out
you said
there,
you had a
so
cottage.
we have a
Yeah.
lot of vacations going out there.
You know, for the summertime, you have your cottage, you're water skiing, you're hanging out, you're, you know, enjoying all the summer things we do. In the wintertime, you're snowmobiling, playing hockey. It was a great upbringing. I have 30 years of living in Sudbury, and I really enjoyed it. So what happened was, after I got a little older, of course, I went to Cambrian College, and I graduated in business. I took a business course at Cambrian College, and my family's all business, so I was very business oriented. But my passion was because I was in the gym. In college, they used to have to come get me in the gym to go write a test. And I mean, I really wasn't a good student because I spent more time playing squash or playing. I was in the gym all the time, and they say, "Oh, where's Kevin? Oh, go to the gym, go get Kevin. He's got to do something." So college wasn't my best academic. You know, yeah. So, but it was fun. College was fun, but I mean, that's when I started lifting. Was in college. Actually, I even started lifting when I was in high school. So my fitness really started when I was in my teens. I would say I was Connors at 7. I was young. I started lifting when I was 17, and then it just kind of progressed from there. And I played hockey. I played a lot of hockey. And because hockey, I think, got me into say, I got to put on some weight, got to put on some muscle, I got to get stronger. So then that's when I started lifting. So I was lifting, and then in college, I guess I went up. My first bodybuilding show that I won was like in 76, 67, yeah. And so I won Mr. Timmons, and I won all these different local bodybuilding shows. So I got really good at bodybuilding, but what I really got good at was getting strong. And here's my biggest thing is in 1988, I was the strongest man in Canada, Petey.
That's a really good feat to have.
I can. How many men can say they're the strongest man in their country?
That's really hard.
I didn't. After a while, you kind of do reflection, and I started thinking about it. I said, man, I could bench press. I bench press 500 pounds. I squatted 750 pounds on my back, and I deadlifted 750. I had a total of a 2,000-pound total. I set the record for Canada for the biggest bench press in 1988. Won the Commonwealth Games in Winnipeg.
Wow.
So I was very, that's my biggest thing is not too many men can say they're the strongest men in their country, right?
Fair point. Now, you were also called not just trainer and Coach Kevin, you are master trainer and nutritionist, Coach Kevin.
Yeah.
Please explain what the difference is, because there is a very big difference, and I feel like it's something that the listening audience definitely needs to know.
Thank you. A master means you have a lot of knowledge, like you said. You have a lot of knowledge, but very, very mixed knowledge. It's like not just in one topic. In fitness, a master means you kind of have a little bit of everything. So what happened was, after 40 years of coaching, and then what happened was I wanted to re-educate myself. Because everything changes. Fitness changes, fashion changes, everything kind of goes full circle, whatever it changes. So I said, I want to go back to school. So I went and joined the program called the International Science Sports International, ISSA, International Sports Science Association. It's a really recognized association, and they have strong, hard courses. So I embarked, and I said, okay, well, I got to get my personal training certification redone, as a personal trainer. And then I said, well, maybe I'll also get my group trainer certification because I train groups, classes. And then I kind of kept going. I said, well, maybe a nutrition course would be good. So all these courses, then an exercise physiologist course that I took, seniors fitness course that I took, yoga, which is really cool. So I got a really good mix. So I have 6 different certifications. And once you get 6 different certified of all those areas, you become a master.
Interesting.
And I like the name master. Kind of makes me feel like, I don't know if it's older or smarter or both.
Mr. Miyagi of health and fitness.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi of fitness, definitely.
That's awesome. So, in a nutshell, what you're getting to here is you're not just calling yourself the master. You have a master in
I have a master's degree in fitness.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my paperwork is good.
This information didn't just come out of your butt. You know what you're talking
about. But speaking out of my butt, let's go back for a second. It's when I graduated back in Cambrian College in business, I wanted to open a gym. Right? I wanted to open a gym. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, should be no problem. I'm a business graduate. Well, I did open a gym. I had Gold's Gym. It was in 1981. I opened Gold's Gym. And I gotta tell you, Petey, I learned nothing. I said maybe because I was in the gym, maybe I should spend more time, more time in school. But where I learned stuff, and we're getting back to my certifications, where I learned stuff was actually opening the business. The things I learned in opening that business, I would have no education. There was no school that could teach me, your financing, your books, your demographics of your clients, the marketing behind this, the marketing behind that. And I learned nothing like that in school. So, for instance, how to pay your bills properly. I'll tell you a quick funny story. Middle of winter, 20 below in Sudbury, and the snow drifts were up to the top of the roofs. It was just, I had to take my snowmobile to get to work, and I only lived like a mile away. So what happened was I got a call from my manager. My manager said, there's snow blowing in the door. I said, what do you mean there's snow blowing in the door? Just close the door. He goes, oh, there's no door. The door's gone. And I said, well, how does a door just disappear, right? How does the door disappear? But what happened was, teacher, you pay your bills on time. Because I didn't pay the door company the bill on time after 90 days. So I was most priority. I was paying my staff and paying, what I thought were the real important ones. And the door kind of was left on the bottom of the list. But what happened to me when I got caught, they said, okay, you're not going to pay that bill on time. Go get the door. So they went and took the door and took it back. So I had to go to the company with my snowmobile and get my door back.
Wow.
So these are things you don't learn in school, right?
Yeah, I never would have thought they could just take your door away.
I didn't know that either. But I mean, these are things. So getting back to the certification, so you said out of my butt, I've been coaching now for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So 40 years of working with people, training people for weight loss, training people for just getting in shape, cardiovascular, get off medication, all the things that we train people and coach people to do. Nutrition, of course, is a big one, and I'm a certified nutritionist as well. So all those years of thousands and thousands of clients from all over Florida, because this is where I did most of my work was Florida. Did some work in Las Vegas, but most of my work was in Florida, West Coast, East Coast. Settled on the East Coast and settled to a gym. So all those years of teaching, all of a sudden now I come back to do the certification work. So I kind of went backwards. I kind of did the work first, then came back to just the paperwork. Now, that master's degree that I got usually would take about 2 years. I did it in 6 months.
Good for you, man.
And it was the last 6 months. So my what I know is the most recent. Most recent. I just want to give speaking of Florida, I want to give a shout out to Pat. I know she's listening, my girlfriend. And she made sure today before I came on the air, she says, Kevin, make sure you talk slower, because I tend to talk fast, and make sure you do a factual. So Pat, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
He's doing a great job.
And Pete's coaching me.
Doing great so far. So it's a good time. So let's get right back into it here. What's the reason for getting into all of this?
All of this. To help people. There's no other thing that a trainer should be into it for, but it's to help somebody get stronger, more fit, mind, body, and soul. I think I told you my biggest reward from being a trainer is when I hear of somebody losing 30, 40 pounds, you change their life. You take 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds off of somebody, you've changed their life. And not too many people can do that. Except upstairs. So there's not too many people can make that kind of change in your life. So I really enjoyed the rewards of seeing the results. You're not going to get rich being a personal trainer, but you're going to get rich as far as what you do for other people. So when people are coming off their blood pressure medication, their Lipitor and all the medications that are people on especially stress medication, that was a big one. And once you get into a gym and start working out, your endorphins get going and you get that natural release without the drugs. We want to feel good, so we take things to help us feel good, whether it's alcohol, food. I'm just saying there's all kinds of things that we do to try to get out of our head or make us feel good. So the music in the gyms was crucial. In other words, if you went to a gym and they played no music, you'd be hearing somebody complaining. If you went to a gym and worked out with no music, or if you went into a gym that played music, but it was music that didn't suit working out, it maybe slow music, love song music. So the mood is so important when you train. So not just at home, in your car, at the gym, So 40 years of working down to the coaching. That's what was my education. But the master's is cool because, like I say, I'm a master. It sounds good on paper, and I do have all the certifications, and I did pick up a lot of knowledge. You know, there's so much confusion, and we'll get into confusion of different things about nutrition and things too. But yeah, that was the biggest thing.
So you're very knowledgeable in this field. You've been all over the place. You started in Sudbury. You went all the way from East Coast to West Coast and everywhere in between. How did you end up in Amherstburg?
Well, getting back, yeah. After when I moved to Florida, I became Mr. Florida. I was like I said, from a power lifter, so I had a great build, right? I had a big, strong build. I had 20 and 8-inch legs. I was bench pressing all kinds of weight. So I had lots and lots and lots of strength. So then I wanted to sculpt that strength, and I took it down to bodybuilding. So I was Mr. Florida in 1995. I won the West Coast Championship of Florida. So then my accolades, being the strongest, having a great physique as far as, how to work with nutrition. That's where I learned nutrition. I wrote a nutrition course, but I mean, when you want to lose 30 pounds of fat and hold all that muscle, that's when you learn about nutrition.
Interesting. Well, on that note, let's cut to a quick commercial break and we'll get right back into this.
Awesome.
Where's the commercials?
So these was right here, because it was all messed up.
Hi, this is Jack from your Amherstburg
Okay,
Savings.
so that's how
We've
you
got
got
some
it.
great deals for you this first week of 2021. Extra lean ground beef only $4.99 a pound. Extra large green and red seedless grapes for $2.49 a pound. 18-pack large
Thank you.
bananas for only $4.99 each. Dr. Oetker frozen pizzas only $3.27 each.
How we doing?
Great.
Resolutions, we have
At 9:30 we have another ad that we have to go to.
After this? Okay.
At 9:30.
So what question have we did all 5 questions? Any more questions you want to ask me on that one?
Right.
so tasty.
Three.
It's good so far.
Let me back it.
And we are back. So let's back it up a little bit. Explain a little bit more about
How I got from Sudbury to Florida.
yes.
That's a culture shock, and it's a true story. I went on vacation, me and my ex-wife, and I said I ain't going back. I ain't going back.
There you go.
I said I've had 30 winters, and I don't want to do any more winters. I was, so they said, well, it's not that easy, just to go to Florida. I said it's gonna be. So I went back home. I sold the gym, liquidated all my money, tried to make as much money, and that was sort of a culture shock. That was a culture shock right there. When you take all your money and you cross that border, say goodbye to 30%.
Yep. Tax.
Oh my God! And I don't know what else. I didn't realize it was that high. So all the money that I had, I lost 30% in the conversion. So that was a big kick in the pants. But so me and my ex-wife and 4 cats in a little metro drove all the way down to Florida, and ended up getting a job in Florida, and didn't come back for 30 years. Yeah, true story. So after I went to Mr. Florida and everything, I was, I thought, I should have no problem with getting clients because I'm a bodybuilder. I'm Mr. Florida. I'll tell you something. That phone never rang. That phone never rang because you know what? And this is the reason. I don't care what bodybuilding trophy you got or how many muscles you got and how, how many trophies you got. It's more how you can teach. You know what I mean? It's your personality. You can have all the certification and be a master and you can have all this, but then you got to know how to relate to people. Then you got to know how to communicate with people. And that's the skill that no school can teach you. I did 40 years of working with clients and, 8 clients a day after 40 years. That's a lot of clients. I taught a lot of classes. I was a big spin instructor. I was a big yoga instructor. So I did work with a lot of people, groups and just one-on-ones. So personality is crucial. I think you have to have a good personality. You have to have the knowledge, yes, but you have to know how to teach that knowledge and pass that knowledge on. That's the big thing I think that a personal trainer or any type of teacher has to have. I think you have, you remember back in school, your teachers, you probably excelled better in a class that you enjoyed the teacher.
Absolutely.
So the coach is everything. I played hockey. So I was kind of born and raised on teams where I had a coach. I had somebody telling me what to do, somebody teaching me all on the way. And I think that, I call myself a health coach. It's not just, you know, how to lift weights. It's not just how to count repetition. It's not just how to take your vitamins. It's putting the whole package together. It's lifestyle. It's telling someone to play the music station. It's telling people to play. You know, it's putting that whole package together, Petey.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's getting that, and that's the winning combination. You can't just do one without the other. You know, you can't just have a car and you can't have no wheels. You can't have a car with wheels and no engine. You know, you have to have all the parts.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing.
I agree, and I think that it's important for the local community here to know how serious you take this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people, especially people who have never signed up for a personal trainer before,
Yeah.
it's a little intimidating. You know, it's you're
Yeah.
having another person come in to critique you and
Yeah.
criticize you
Yeah.
in a constructive way.
Yeah.
And you're almost putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. You know,
Yeah.
some people are very self-conscious about their physique and everything like that.
Definitely.
And I must say, from firsthand experience, very good guy to be around. Very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, you have to have that intuition of knowing how to handle your clients and relate to them, and
Yeah.
you know, get to their level. And you're very good at that.
Absolutely. Thank you. No, you asked me, well, how did I get to Amherstburg?
Hmm.
My parents live in Amherstburg. My parents also lived in Florida before, you know, and they lived in Windsor and they lived in Sudbury. And my dad was ill. He had a heart attack. We didn't have health insurance in Florida, and my mom started getting ill. So, just for, you know, economical reasons, she had to get back to Canada. So OHIP would, you know, look after the bills. That's the beauty of OHIP, I guess. There's some good, you know, there's some all kinds of sides to OHIP, and we'll get into that later. But I mean, that was the reason why they moved back. And so when they moved back, they went shopping for a place to live. And somehow, some way, because Amherstburg's not easy to find,
Nope.
somehow, some way, they came across Amherstburg, and my mom fell in love with it. My dad fell in love with it because it had, you know, it was Canadian, but it's southern Canada versus Ontario. So the cold, it wasn't as cold, it wasn't as much snow. The beauty's there, the small town mentality, the community mentality. Everybody knows everybody. There's no language barriers. In Miami, I probably went through, like, you think of all the nationalities that go through Miami: Russian, Latin American. You know, there's so many different nationalities that you, and different cultures. Everybody goes to Florida, so you have like 6 different cultures. So you have people talking all Venezuelan, then you have Cuban, then you have the Brazilians, then you'll have so many different. So it's really broken up. Whereas in a community like Amherstburg, you're pretty much we're one group, right? And I was looking at your stats the other day. Like, one thing I do with my clients is I want to know my client. And I consider Amherstburg my client now. I want to be the coach, and I want to, you know, use, you know, your show to teach people how to train and how to exercise and not be so intimidated, and why hire a coach, and go through all that, because Amherstburg is not a big fitness town. Although, you know, there's three clubs, like we said the other day. There's 3 clubs in this town. You know, 3 good clubs, and you've got like 25,000 people living here.
Mm-hmm.
So once I assess my clients, so I got to assess Amherstburg. Okay, what do I got? What am I looking at?
Absolutely.
Not a real big fitness town, even though you've got those gyms. I'd like to see them a lot busier. You know, they could be busier. We don't have that fitness mentality like we did in Florida, of course, because everybody's walking around with no shirts on. Everybody's walking around, you know. So it's a big deal to be in shape in Florida. So that's why, you know, it was very busy. A lot of trainers, because there's a lot of people with a lot of money. Although, you know, let's back up to where would the first personal trainers come out? Do you know somebody named Oprah Winfrey?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, Oprah probably had the very first personal trainer. This is back 30, 40 years, even before all the stars had trainers. Oprah, I think, and she made it public by bringing her trainer on the air and talked about her trainer. She put trainers on the map. So everybody thought that, oh, wow, I want to be like Oprah. I'm going to have my own trainer, too. Oh, wow, I have my trainer. So it also became a status symbol. So in Florida, if you don't have a trainer, you're not doing very good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
So
you.
it's very important. It's smart too. But I mean, they had their hairdresser, they had their this, and they had their that, and they had their trainer. So personal trainers were all over the place in Florida. It was like you could get a personal trainer on every corner. There's a personal trainer. But here, no. Here, no, because it's like I said, it's not that mentality. We're not walking around. Although I do see people walking around in shorts in 30-degree weather. I'm not sure what's up with that. And I don't. I thought, when I see somebody in shorts when it's 30 degrees and I've got hats and gloves and boots on,
Yeah.
I either feel kind of wimpy, or I don't know. Either that person pants weren't in the laundry that time and they had to wear the shorts. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
The short thing. Maybe you can explain that to me, because I don't know what's the shorts in 30-degree weather.
Oh, I couldn't vouch for that either. I don't know. Sometimes I see flip flops too, and I'm like, it beats me. But
freezing.
when it comes to the fitness though,
Yeah.
around here, I definitely noticed that as well.
Yeah.
There's not nearly as many people that take their fitness as seriously as they do.
Yeah.
Let's say out near Miami.
Yeah.
But a lot of that also has to do with the fact that this is kind of like it's the hallmark retirement town. This is where you go to kind of slow down and just kind of bask in the nature and the area and the community.
Great.
And
And I understand all of that. We talked about the demos, the demographics of 25,000 people, probably 30,000 people now. 10,000 of those people, 10,000 of those people of us, now I'm an Aspergian now, is 10,000 plus. We have 10,000 people that are 55 plus in Amherstburg. Gender-wise, I got surprised on this when I'm looking at my little trusty computer. It's 50-50 males to females, pretty much 0.8, 0.6 either way.
mm-hmm.
So ages 55 plus, at the gender of no big gender gap. It's just it's pretty much 50-50. You got equal men and you got equal women. Now getting back to Amherstburg. So mom got sick. Dad passed away this year in March. I'm sitting in Florida having a great old time, on the beach, and I'm doing training, and I'm rocking and rolling. I'm training stars and celebrities. Remind me to tell you about Zumba after this, too. I'm just getting back to that for a second. I want to tell you about Zumba.
Okay.
So then what happened was, when my dad passed, of course, I came back to Sudbury about 6 months before he passed, just to basically be close to him and have a job in Sudbury. So I worked at my old gym back in Sudbury that I was still going, actually. So that the gym that I originated. And what happened was, my father passed, and then my mom took a bad turn.
mm-hmm.
So I came down to be with her. So I got out of Sudbury and I came to Amherstburg, and I've been to Amherstburg a couple times. I love it. Like I told you, I love that community. I love everything about Amherstburg. So that's what brought me to Amherstburg, and what got me into senior fitness, because I really want to focus on seniors, is what I saw and what I'm still seeing. My mom lives in a retirement home, and I'm living with her to watch over her. She's in bad shape. But it opened my eyes, Petey. From working in Miami with all these body beautifuls, that all of a sudden then you got to come into a place. I never saw the senior market as much as I'm seeing it now. And so, as what I do for a living, I said, I've got to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to help. And what I saw was inactivity. It's cold outside. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna walk? It's not. You don't get a beach. You don't get the sunshine. You don't. So we're missing sunshine. That's number one. We're talking about vitamin D and that kind of stuff later, and the importance of the sunshine. So we weren't getting all this sunshine. We're not getting. The weather's not nice because it's cold outside. Who wants to walk in this cold? Especially the seniors. And they have difficulty walking. So what do people do when they can't exercise and they can't do this and they can't do that, and they're in pain? They got osteoporosis. They got maybe cancer. They've got something going on that they're sick. They don't feel good. They don't want to go out, so they stay home and they basically sit in their homes, and they watch their Price is Right and Wheel of Fortune and
Yep.
show. But so it was inactivity. So
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to get seniors and people more active. Just get moving. I put together that pedal bicycle, under desk pedal bicycle that I told you about. You just sit and you ride the bicycle.
That's cool.
That's really cool because there's no impact on the knee joints. There's no impact on the body, and you're getting that circulation of the legs. Arthritis, rheumatitis, joint pain, inflammation pain is a huge problem. You know, for in all inflammatories, heart disease, it's all important to deflame the body from all these things that get in our body that cause at a cellular level inflammation. What you eat makes a big difference. Your stress level makes a big difference. All these things tend to cause swelling of the joints. The weather sometimes can also be a part of it. You know, damp weather can be a part of it. And so it causes pain. So when you go on this pedal bike that I designed, and I put them on for maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, and they get circulation going in their legs, they get moving, their heart gets a little pumping, they're getting blood flow, you know, and then I have my mom sit down in a chair, get back up, I have her do squats. And the reason why I have my mom doing squats is because it strengthens your legs. And if your legs are strong, you'll walk so much better. You know, you see people walking with very slow and very guarded walkers, slow movements, no balance, falling. Look at all the biggest problem with seniors is the falls. You know, you hear of people who are falling and having, you know, their bones are so brittle. You know, you got osteoporosis. They said, my doctor said that my mom had bones like cheese. It was like that, holes all into it. It was very porous. So the muscles are weak, the bones are weak, and you have to strengthen the bones to support the muscles to support the bones. So I have my mom doing these squats, and she'll do like 15 squats with a chair, and she'll sit up and she'll sit down, sit up and sit down. You could probably do 100, 1,000. But I mean, when you're 83 years old and you got all these problems, 10 squats is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have her sit down and have her do 5 more minutes on that pedal bike. So my program is designed to have them do basic exercises, get the body moving, get on a proper diet, and play your music.
That's a really good.
That's my goal, and that's what I want to really focus on in Amherstburg is to get that going, get them moving, get them eating better, get them motivated. I'm a motivator.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone, I get lazy on myself. I wish I had a coach like me and say, Kevin, get your butt out of bed. Let's go. Let's get this done. You know, that's what you need. You got to say something. Petey, come on, man. We're gonna get some muscle. We're gonna build up your arms today. We're gonna build up your leg. Let's go hit the gym. Petey will say, yeah, okay. See, yeah, I'll meet you later.
I used to be pretty active back in my high school days, and then once I graduated, I don't know, I just kind of slowed down. Most of my
your motivation, right? You got other things going on.
My motivation ended up going more towards things that were I had to sit down to do it. It was more stuff on the computer after that, and yeah, my physical interactions just kind of went to a halt. I used to be in sports every season in school, and then once you know, I graduated, there's no seasonal sport to be in that keeps me active. So my conditioning just went completely gone.
That's what I mean. Once we leave school, there's no more teachers. You know, we're kind of, you know, we think we know more than our parents, so we don't kind of, you know, focus on them, or, you know, our parents are active in our lives or not. So we tend to lose that guidance, and we're kind of like left on hanging out with our buddies.
Absolutely.
And our buddies kind of decide what we do.
And it's also conflicting because from the age of 4 until you're an adult, sometimes even post being an adult in university and college, you wake up every day with a task,
a schedule.
Someone gives you a task,
a structured schedule.
You don't have to tell yourself what you're going to do today. You just know that you have to show up, and they're going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And then they're going to grade you on it, and they're going to tell you whether or not you did a good job or not. And when they tell you did a good job, you're going to feel good about it. And when they say that you didn't do a good job, you're going to feel bad about it. Yeah. And then when you graduate, there's no one there to tell you you did a good job or you did a bad job.
Right. That's
and
right.
you're left trying.
You're a smart guy. If you're a young guy, you got it together.
Yeah, you're left questioning it yourself, you know? And it's at that point it's up to you to really motivate yourself and give yourself that same validation that you did a good job.
That's what we're saying. We're saying Happy New Year's to everybody, New Year's resolutions. I worked in the gyms for 40 years, and I've went through 40 New Years, and I went through 40 years of resolutions. And I tell you, they say, oh, yeah, we're getting ready to get busy. It's going to be January 2nd. Everyone's going to come in the gym, New Year's resolution. Well, you know what? They never showed. They never showed because the thought was there. I want to have a resolution. I want to self-improve myself. I want to do this. But then you have to implement it into action.
Yeah.
So you can have the want and you have the desire, but then you need the tool, which is where I come in maybe to motivate you to. Now it's not always at a gym. I do a lot of home training. I go to their homes. I set up programs. I set up exercise programs. I'm a lifestyle coach. I'll talk to them about maybe meditation. I'll talk to them about positive thinking. Here's a book to read. I want you to read Eckhart Tolle, or I want you to study Wayne Dyer, spiritual leaders. I want you to self-learn, but with my guidance, I'll give you the tools, like a teacher gives you the tools. So I'll go into their home, set on a program. That's called home training. And I love to go to people's homes and set them up. So that's what I want to do in Amherstburg, really, is to be a home trainer as well.
I think that's a great idea, especially with our older community. It's hard for a lot of people to get up
Yeah.
and go every single day to work out.
Right.
So, especially if you're a senior and you have balance issues, you have a hard time moving from room to room, place to place.
I see it every day.
It's very convenient.
I see it every day, and I see these walkers. The problem with that is when you use a walker or a crutch, you lose your sense of balance because you depend on the walker.
Yes.
So what happens? You lose. I don't have to wire a walker. Then you really lose your balance because you always have to depend on the walker. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely want to design that program where you don't have to go on a treadmill. I don't want to put a senior on a treadmill. You fall off the treadmill.
Yeah.
And chances are that's
Sounds dangerous out loud.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Now, on a sad note about a treadmill, I was involved in an incident where a lady was on a treadmill and she had a heart attack.
Oh no.
She was at the gym and she had a full-out heart attack, and I was next door, and all I heard was help, help, help. So I ran in. Here was this poor woman on a treadmill. The treadmill was still going. She got stuck on the treadmill. The treadmill was still going. You could smell get the flesh from the treadmill. It was horrible.
Oh.
And she had a full-out heart attack, and I performed CPR, and we never got her back. We tried it, and that was a big thing for me because I blamed did I do it properly, was there something wrong? But that was because of a treadmill that she couldn't control, and she lost control of it, and she did have a heart condition. We found out later, she should have been pre-screened. I think everybody should be pre-screened on a health questionnaire, what their health is like before they go into a cardiovascular program, do a class.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so treadmills aren't the safest thing, and a big bicycle might not be. The computer's complicated. Whereas this thing here, you don't have to do no computer, no punches, no punch outs. You just get on your chair or your couch, put your pedals put your feet on the pedals, and just go, and just pedal. Just get that circulation. You don't need, and then they're not expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a bunch of them. So if anybody listening, if you want to try one, give me a shout. And I'll set you up and I'll come show you how to use it.
There's even little things that you can do that'll just slowly increase your strength. Like I remember I was the fastest kid in my school, grade school, high school,
Yeah, me
and
too.
it was because my house had an absurd 20 steps to get from the bottom floor to the top floor.
Yeah.
And I was a fast-paced kid that didn't like to wait for anything. So I would always go up by 2, sometimes 3 steps at a time.
That's funny.
And
It's funny.
doing that, the only bathroom is upstairs.
Yeah.
And if you're downstairs, you're running up and down these stairs
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah, stairs are great. When I lived in Miami, I lived in I was fortunate. I lived on the beach and in 40-story buildings, and so I was living in a 40-story building, and I brought clients to the building, and I said, okay, let's go. So they'd have to go up 40 flights, up 40 flights down,
Yep.
and I would do that like maybe 3 rounds. Like you said, stairs are the best. Stairs are really good, but I wouldn't recommend it
No.
to seniors.
No, dangerous.
So I think the safest way is to do the cycling.
Yes, the cycling for sure. I even there's other things too that are just things that you do in your average everyday life that might be more beneficial than you think as far as your exercise. I remember I used to do roofing, and
I was a roofer.
oh, perfect.
I was a trust setter in Miami.
There you go.
Yeah, in between jobs.
So when I first started, I was kind of like the runt of the job. I was the one that had to do all of the physical labor of carrying the shingles from place to place. And, there's other kids my age that were complaining the whole time saying like, oh, we're the smallest ones here. Why are they making us carry it? Blah, 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 blah. But if you kind of set your mindset to it where I was looking at it, this is an excuse for me to get a paid workout right now.
Well, yeah, that's what I did. I was on top of the roof. I said, "Great, I'm getting a workout, I'm getting paid, and I'm getting a tan."
There you go.
You know,
Exactly.
so-
So there's always like little things in everyday situations that you might even be able to pull a workout out of, as long as you're
know,
aware of it.
you just touched on something that's also important, because we're called healthy body, healthy mind. So, you know, I definitely do want to talk about the mind and the power of positive thinking. And, you know, you meet people all the time that, you know, meet somebody and they're all just, how you doing?
Yep.
And you say, oh, God, I wish I never asked that person how. So now I don't ask them how they're doing, because I know the answer I'm going to get. So I just say, hi.
There you go.
I say, hi, because, yeah, you get dragged down. So you got to get people out of this negative. It's so easy to be angry. And it's more difficult to be positive, I guess. But, you know, what I do with my mind and my clients is I say, whatever's going on, I use this one in class, it could be worse.
Exactly.
Whatever's going on, you know, and they say, oh, and my money, my kids, I say, okay. But you always, and it could be whatever, you can say, listen, you're still above ground. You know what I mean? No matter how much you're going through or whatever the problems you got, you're still above ground.
Exactly.
And there always is a better way. You know, Peter, we're made out of cells. We're made out of cells. And no matter if you remember your science, your biology, in the cell you have a positive and a negative, and you have a nucleus, right? You have an electron, positive electron, a negative electron, and you have the center. Well, that's kind of, and we're built, that's what we're built from. So we're basically one big cell. Then you have a positive side, and then you have a negative side. And you have the power to choose which side you want to be. You can be that negative person. You can have that negative side if you want. It's 50%. Or you can choose to go back into the other side and be more positive.
Absolutely.
More positive.
I remember I was working at a pizza place. Actually, it's attached to the building here. When I was like 17, and I had a manager, and something went wrong, and I was upset. I was freaking out. I didn't know how to do the situation. It was like my first job, and he told me a lesson that still pertains to me today, where it's anytime you're in a situation where you're angry, upset, or there's a problem, look at yourself from a third perspective and tell yourself, what would be the coolest way to handle this situation from another person's perspective? If they were looking at you and they watched you handle the situation, what would be the most impressive way to handle that situation? And whatever it is, no matter how hard it is, do it.
You'd be a good coach, Peter.
Yeah, maybe one day.
But I mean, you're right. I think, you know, the music that we play, the mood music that we play, the mentality of trying to get into a more positive thought, recognizing that you're making a negative thought and switch and say, you know what, I'm saying something negative, recognize it, because you know, for recovery, you have to recognize your problem. You know, I have a problem. Once after you recognize it, only then can you actually go into recovery. But if you never accept or you know, accept that you have a problem, you can't recover. So you have to have that, you know, acceptance of that I have a problem. So once they do that, then you can grow.
You know what? And on that note, let's cut to a quick commercial break, and I will love to talk about this a little more. Before,
me too.
Look at that, it's already 9:45.
I know, and I was worried. We still haven't gotten to a couple of things. We haven't got to our fun facts. Let's do the fun facts next.
Alrighty.
Okay.
See, and you were worried about it being an out. See, I told you.
You make it so easy.
I told you.
How's it sound, Connor?
Good. Good.
And I understand this is the first time we've done this. I had a show, 1 hour show. It was you telling me that we've had a 1 hour show of someone just a sponsor, advertiser, just talking about their product for an hour.
Yeah.
It's the first one.
It's also the first intro I've ever had to make.
I like this thing. So yeah, we'll do some fun things. We really haven't touched, and then we got to talk about the 21, the twins thing.
Also, this microphone, I know it's a little bit of a pain in the ass because it's like on the side of you. So to combat it, if we move your chair a little more to the other way, that way when you're looking at me, it'll be a little more in front of you. It might even make it easier if I go over here, so that way it just naturally. All right, we got 30 seconds.
So
Fun facts?
at the end, yeah, we'll do some fun facts, and then I'll talk more a little bit about training and how to get a hold of me, because I got to sell this, right?
Yep, exactly.
So we got to give all the contacts. I got a hotline going on too that I wanted to put out
10
there.
seconds left.
Okay.
Cool. I love it. I'm having fun.
Awesome.
Every
I
week
told
we're
you, it's
doing
gonna be
this.
fun.
Connor, every Saturday, dude, we're gonna do this. Thank you.
And we are back. Good morning, Amherstburg. Welcome back to Healthy Minds, Healthy Body with Coach Kevin. Coach Kevin, what you got a huge grin on your face. It looks like you're having a great time.
I am. You know, I thought I would be so nervous, Petey, and I'm so glad that I brought you in as my co-host because I you know, sometimes I make some smart decisions, sometimes I make some dumb decisions, but this one was smart because it would be so hard for me, you know, Connor, you know, and to talk into the mic with this conversation, but I mean to be still without it's difficult. So I might be able to do it one day, but right now, thank you, Coach, because you're coaching me, and like I said earlier, everyone needs a coach, and even in radio, you need a coach.
Hey, well, I am by no means any crazy professional. I've only been doing this for a little bit of time, but I definitely appreciate the the appreciation that's going both ways here.
Makes
So
makes it easy. Thank you.
no worries, thank you. You had some fun facts you wanted to talk
I
about.
did. You know, I found these. You know, yeah. Let's do the fun facts.
Bring them on. So, for some of the fun facts that you had going, I know that there was one for sure that was about vitamins. You also had another one that was on your other computer, which we will get up in a second.
You know, yeah. Go to the fun facts.
Here we go.
You got them.
Sorry, it's gonna ask for your pin, and I'm not gonna have you say it on the air. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, fun facts. I'll give you as we're loading up here. I'll tell you a couple of fun facts that I already know about. Did you know, Petey, that there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat?
I did not.
Well, let me explain it a little further. That so, in other words, it's all everything's energy, right? Calories is all energy. You don't eat protein. You don't eat protein. You don't eat carbohydrates. You don't eat these things unless it all turns in, or it does. There's no unless. Everything you eat turns into one thing. It doesn't have the fat section or the protein section or the carbohydrate. This goes to this area. It's when you put it all together, it just melts into your stomach and turns into glycogen. Glycogen is fuel, energy. Energy. Calories is just energy. Food is just energy. You know, we as foodies, we love our food, but I want you to. We don't necessarily think about how many calories we eat, but 3,500 calories equals 1 pound.
Sorry about that. I think everything is okay. Our power just flickered, and I have no idea if we're on the air right now. I think we are. It looks like it.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
It's all my energy.
Sorry, we're breaking the fourth wall right now. We just gotta check and make sure everything's going good. Okay, it seems like everything is running fine.
So I want you to say those questions, and let's talk about them.
Sure thing.
It's like you're asking me a question or you're saying a fun fact. Just go to fun fact number 1.
Sure thing. So, the fun fact for number 1 is that music really does help you work out better.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talk, and I think that's so true. I think mood music. So everybody, make sure you play this station and tell your friends, and get them listening to music. That's number 1. First things first in nutrition is we say, okay, cut out all the garbage foods, cut out all the the sugars, cut out the potato chips, the obvious stuff, the cakes, the pies, just the obvious stuff. That's obvious, and then you can bring in certain things, and don't do it all at once. You don't have to go on a hard diet all at once. Start with that. Start playing the music. Start cutting out the garbage foods. Then start bringing in some healthy foods. That's definitely.
For sure.
You got another fun fact for me?
Yeah, we got another one. The people who are single tend to work out more than those who are married. I could definitely see that being a valid one.
Yeah. Once you're married, you say, okay, I don't need a gym no more.
Yeah, I don't need to impress anyone.
Yeah, I don't need the gym.
You
she
love me for
married
who
me.
I
She's
am.
got me. If I got a belly or not, that's just the way it is.
Yep. This is one that surprised me though. Walking briskly burns nearly as many calories as jogging.
Yeah. When you jog, your heart rate comes up. So your oxygen comes in and out quicker, right? So here's one for you. Like if you ran a mile, Petey, as fast as you could, or you walked it and took your time, what would burn more calories? You would think running, right, would burn more calories than walking. But because it took you way longer to do that 1 mile, your calorie burn is going to be just as much, longer as you ran.
So it's not the speed,
It's not the
it's
speed
the
or the
duration.
intensity. You don't have to go hard all out. So a brisk walk is when you can walk and still get breathing. Oxygen comes in even when you're jogging or running. You're getting more carbon dioxide than you are getting oxygen. This is why I teach meditation. When I teach meditation, it's all about the breath. You know, when I have my classes, you burn more calories doing meditation. Here's one for you. You burn more calories by doing deep breathing than doing that exercise, because you get more oxygen in the body. Oxygen burns fat, right? You take oxygen away from a flame, what happens? You lose the burn. So oxygen is huge on burning fat, and also healthy for the bones, for the muscles. So oxygen is crucial. Right? When people have cancer, they put them in these oxygen chambers to try to heal them. So oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. So that's why when you see a brisk walk is more effective than a jog.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, see, you hang out with me, bro. Every Saturday you're going to learn.
People who exercise regularly have a higher vitamin D level in their blood.
Yeah. Vitamin D is important. You know, vitamin D, we talked about it earlier. Vitamin D is your immune system. You know, me and you, we had lunch the other day and we were talking about the analogy I used about your immune system being the protector of your whole body, right? In other words, you got that front line. Yeah, you got that front line. And what happens is your immune system is kind of like the line, and your heart is the quarterback, okay? So you want to protect your heart, right? So what you do is you want to have that front line, your immune system, strong. So in other words, if we start taking away those linemen, we'll take 3 or 4 of those linemen, we'll take them off the line. You start doing that, you're losing your strength to protect your immune system. So whether it's COVID, whether it's cancer, whether it's disease, it's crucial that you keep your immune system, your front line, strong. So vitamin D is known for that. So vitamin D is actually the number 1 selling vitamin. I did all my stats. The number 1 selling vitamin in Ontario, Canada is vitamin D.
Interesting.
Sunlight, you know, we get sunlight. If we put ourselves in a corner with no light, just shade, it's not going to grow very well. It needs sunlight. It needs water. It needs the sun. We're
right.
Humans. We need the sun.
Plant cells, human cells,
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah,
that
that's
makes sense.
your immune system. That's why, you know, the Florida sun, you got the ocean, you got the eye. So Florida's a very healthy place to live. You got, you know, it really is. So yeah, vitamin D was definitely number 1, how important it is.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay. Wow.
As much as the fun facts,
Next Saturday.
we could keep these going all day.
I know. We'll dig in them next Saturday. We'll dig into them more. They're fun.
For sure. Before we go though, let's you know, let our listening audience know what you got going on, what this is about.
Yeah.
You know, essentially, what can they do by contacting you that will benefit them?
Yeah. Well, I have a hotline. I set up a hotline because you talked about how intimidating it is. And some people don't reach out to coaches. They always say they have the wanting, but they don't make the action. So, you know, I want you to reach out to me. I'm very easy to get along with. My hotline, can I say my hotline on? Can I say the hotline on? My hotline is 249-979-2956. Again, that hotline is a free consultation. Let's just talk. Let's just have a conversation of what's on your mind, what's going on. It's free, there's no charge, and let's just tell me what you want to do. So the hotline is there. My website or my email, the word is perfect, Fit Production, fitproduction @yahoo.com is my email. So if you want to get a hold of me, say, hey, Kev, can you ask me questions? I love questions. Email me a question. Email me, say, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you about something with nutrition. And by the way, guys, we'll be doing this every Saturday. So what you didn't hear today, we're gonna get in.
We also, I believe, are gonna have it on the weekends
that's
as
right.
well.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get to hear it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it might even be Sunday right now.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be good. So yeah, so if you want to get a hold of me, Fit Production, one word @yahoo.com. If you're a Facebookie and you like your Facebook, just go to the Coach Kevin. I'm under Coach Kevin, and you can get to me on Facebook. If you do the Instagram thing, I'm called Master Coach. So, and what's weird is all these names, I've had these sites for years. All of a sudden now I'm out. It kind of fits in perfect, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, so email me. We'll have a website up soon too as well. I want to get a website up. But yeah.
Well, I think this was a good first episode. Very informative. We got to disclose a little bit of what you do, your background, what you're about, and we informed our listening audience.
I did. I think it's just the beginning, Peter. Yeah, like I said, I want to be Amherstburg's coach. I got 20,000 people to train, and I can definitely do it, 10,000 or 55 plus. So I definitely want to help people who are intimidated, want to lose some weight, want to get off maybe some pain medication, want to know about an anti-inflammatory diet, what are good diets to eat, what are bad diets to eat. I want to give all that info. Information makes you stronger. And it makes you more motivated. So more education you have, more motivation you have. So if I can educate you, I'll also motivate you.
Well, there you have it, Amherstburg. Coach Kevin, master trainer, nutritionist. You just got done listening to his segment of Healthy Body, Healthy Mind with Coach Kevin. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure.
I loved it.
I
Absolutely loved it. And I love it because it's fun and it's got a lot of good meaning behind it.
Absolutely. And we're learning.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting learned.
Yeah, we're learning. Connor, you learn anything today?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
So with that being said, yeah, have a great rest of your weekend, Amherstburg. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And here's to
resolutions. Make sure you get those resolutions in. Call me. Let me talk to me. I'll come to your house. We'll look after you.
Thank you. Good job.
Oh, man, I can't believe how
You did it.
fast that went. Hi.
You did it.
That's great.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, I don't know how I lost the Google, but I lost it.
Oh, that's okay.
I lost it. That's why it happened when it happened. But you took over, which was good. You had those questions.
So yeah, you had fun?
I had fun, and I'm really excited.
Glad to hear that, man.
I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm already thinking about next week. We got so much on there that the stuff that we didn't get today will be the whole show next week.
That's what I mean, bro. I was telling you. I was
we
like,
didn't
you
get
gave me
into
these
we didn't get into
points
my
in, like,
twin story. We didn't
6
get into
minutes each. We got that.
and we only ran like one set of commercials, so we did pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I think two.
We ran one set, and then there was that one individual
Yeah.
Sobeys commercial.
We did it. Good job.
Yeah. Good job, everyone. Good job.